Quiet on the set. You're listening to WRFB, Radio Free Britannia, and no other freaking better place in the world than Deltona, Florida. Here you are, lunch with no other than the dynamic duo, Laz and Jack.
Greetings, everybody. This is Laz.
And this is Jack. Welcome to another edition of Lunch with Laz and Jack, where we interpret the news so you don't have to.
That's right. Bringing you our own brand of news right here inside Shroud of the Avatar. 5 days a week for your viewing and listening pleasure. How's everybody doing out there today? It is Thirsty Thursday here inside Shroud of the Avatar, August 10th, 2017. And of course, what would a show be without a little technical difficulties up front here? I don't know why you're not moving in Zoom room. There we go.
I'm trying to stand still now.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
No.
I'm going. He's stuck.
It is possible that happened, but
it's all your fault. Okay, I see. You actually do it. I'm looking at the screen. I'm going. He's not moving. What's going on?
That's pretty damn funny. No, but yeah, Zoom is working great for us. I mean, don't forget that if you want to help us out and pay for the Zoom channel, you can always go to patreon.com/NBNN and make a donation and become a Patreon.
That's right. It takes as little as $1 a month. And of course, we are using a room that was donated by Merck. And Merck has informed us that come somewhere around the end of November or early December,
sometime soon,
shutting down. Yes, so we need to fund that room for the next year.
And
so
migrate away.
It would be nice. Of course, for those of you folks who've been missing the music and nobody said anything, I think we have that issue finally fixed. So that music is actually playing on tape and on the radio. Everybody should be hearing music these days. If not, what are you playing with? You playing with the pussy again? I don't know. He's distracted or something. What are you doing? I have no idea. All right. Well, anyway, while he's doing whatever it was he's doing there.
Say what?
You having a meeting? What's going on?
A little conversation with Heather of Cove. I mean, we're talking smack and.
Okay. Yeah. Well, speaking of talking smack, is hot topic out there. A lot of hot topics right now out there. I heard you had a conversation with a certain Duke Ezekiel Cooper yesterday morning.
Yeah.
And of course, a hot topic, of course, was SodaCon Austin 2017. For those of you guys who are looking to get tickets, you're out of luck. Ticket sales are now over. So if you haven't gotten your ticket, you're going to have to look forward to next year. Now, speaking of tickets, certain somebody had been lacking in getting his ticket.
Hey. That's been taken care of. Thanks.
Yes, it has. And do you know exactly how that happened, by the way? I just wanted to say that another certain somebody who hangs out with us all the time offered to buy your ticket. And, of course, I put a phone call in and I said, before you spend that money, let me see what the BMC can do. And spoke to Duke, and the Duke says, oh, man, no, we can't let that happen. Jack will be taken care of, and he will have his ticket, so no worries. So
it's all good.
Jack can no longer claim he doesn't have a ticket to SodaCon
Jack
because he's got a ticket. Under the gun, last minute, day before the ticket sales close, and he finally acquires the ticket. I gotta love it. Good. But yes, for those of you folks who did not get in on them, and of course I had somebody even come in late night last night going, how do I get cloaks? And cloaks are now gone as well. You cannot purchase those. And I'm going to have to throw that one by Duke. I don't know if we can keep cloak sales extended.
You should be able to.
Well, again, very, very good reason for, and that's another whole topic of discussion we're not going to get into. We had that discussion as to all those details yesterday, and the guys and girls down at the offices now understand why we're doing what we're doing. But anyway, moving right along, speaking of the guys and girls from the offices, man, all sorts of great news coming out. Of course, some really interesting topics of debate as well out there. But let's of course start by letting everybody know that of course free trials started again yesterday. For those of you folks wanting to know what's going on and you want to come out and test stuff, try new things, or do a little exploration that you wouldn't do with your main character otherwise. Now is one of those times where you can get in and actually do that.
Oh yeah, free trial.
And then,
gotta love free trials. Free trials are a great way to get a brief exposure to the game. They are forcing you along the path of love, which is the most complete quest line. Although all three of the primary quest lines are playable through completion, and leading up to the final portion of the quest line as well. So, but I wouldn't expect to be able to play all of those quest lines in 1 month.
Not unless you're Cynicist. Running around with a newbie level 5 naked, running through every scene to get to the
hat quest,
the gold.
Hat quests with my own little train of where I have to move everybody individually because follow is broken.
Not even that, but you were just one of the prime examples that you could run just about any scene. Virtually unarmed and naked.
Yeah, I mean, I did stream running the path of truth and courage through completion, and a few people caught the fact that I was just running away from mobs in one of the entrance scenes, and I managed to get to the safe spot into the final portion without dying.
Without getting
molested,
as it is, yes.
Well, I was being molested. I just didn't die. The bad touch wasn't so bad that I died. Yeah. So I mean, it is one where those quests were manageable. Although the path of love I cannot complete because I cannot kill 3 liches at the same time. In the final room.
I've seen that. And of course, I saw, the preview of one of the scenes they did, and they were showing it to us on Monday. And I'm like, and then this gets a little harder. And there's like 6 mages who are sending ranged attacks at you the minute you walk in. And I'm going, is that what you consider just a little harder? 6 ranged attacks at once is just a little harder, but maybe that's just me.
Just a little bit friggin' impossible for me right now. And that actually makes me think that what I should do is actually invest in some stealth. So level up my night tree a little bit and get into the silent or shadow form, just so that way I can kind of sneak by
You know,
some
I've
of those,
played with that a little, and
the-
it just
the-
never seems to do what it's supposed to do.
the final room
Yeah.
would still kill me though.
Is that, I've tried it even in like the control points just for giggles and grins, but like as soon as I like jump off a ledge or something, I always come out of hiding,
Yeah.
and it's like, and that's usually like right in the middle of the mob, and it's like, really? But anyway,
Yep.
let's tear down some walls, why don't we? Let's tell some folks about one of the hottest topics over the last several years here.
You mean
And,
the stand-up notes? Sweet, yeah.
No. You want to do stand-up? Okay.
Hey, well, I mean,
Wait for it.
Wait for it. I mean, because if we go into other things, I mean, how are we going to tease our audience?
Well, I was going to tear down some walls first.
Okay,
but,
fine. Go ahead
yeah.
and tear down some walls.
But
Be that man.
it's just one of those things because we will come back to it. You know that. Yeah. But a post that I never thought we would ever see, and a post that has been hotly debated over the last several years, is the pre-placed keep and castle lot walls for those folks who have Duke and Lord of the Manor accounts. And it's been one side, it's been the other side, it's been roughly divided down the middle, it's been debated. We want walls, we don't want walls, make it an option, give us another option. That's right, you guys love all the options.
Yeah. And then from there, it's one where part of the discussion is going to be that, I mean, you know what? It's like some people like the walls, some people don't. The walls still aren't decoration, so you can't put anything on them. So it does become useless space.
That was the big question. Some people wanted them, some people didn't want them. And most of people, I think, just wanted an option to toggle the walls that were there on or off. So their original solution was to give everybody a set of walls that would surround their keep or castle lot and take the walls down, and then that changed.
The funny thing is, like, have you ever actually tried to line up those walls?
I have.
It's a royal pain in the ass to set up those walls.
It's not easy, but it can be done.
It can be done, but it's a royal pain in the ass.
But the walls that came with the automatic walls could not be decorated, whereas my understanding that the placeable walls, it can be decorated, which is one major factor in my opinion, that you can put banners and stuff off the walls where you couldn't in the pre-placed walls. So I think that this should finally put this topic to rest, or as Spoon said, third time's a charm, hopefully, keeping fingers crossed. But at this point,
it's going to be a clusterfuck again. It's going to be a little messy.
Well, again, I had an idea. I wanted to use that Duke Island, and I just couldn't put the keep out there because walls. I just didn't like them.
Well, you still had a city-sized lot inside of the
wasted space.
Yeah, because those Duke walls did take up a ton of space. But maybe now you can go invest in the Viking palisade fences and have a high fence around everything.
But if you see what I did with my Duke plot out in Snug Harbor, you'll know that I put greenhouses all the way down the sides of my Duke house.
Well, did you see what has been done to my Duke lot and Brecon Bay?
I have not, but you know what? The guys and girls just came out with some more crazy information out there, and this is really gonna put a stir in everybody.
2-year plan.
Because yes,
2-year plan.
There has been some talk about a said
2-year plan.
2-year plan.
Don't know what you're talking about. What is this 2-year plan that thou dost speak of.
It was just one of those things
Do
they
your
keep
plan.
talking about. But
Okay.
maybe we'll discuss that a little after the stand-up
I
corner.
don't know what you're talking about. Never heard of it.
Two-year plan.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I think I read something about flexible placement.
I think I read something about boats,
Do-year
but
plan.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well,
And-
all sorts of interesting
Yeah.
stuff.
May have read
you
all
know,
kinds of
we
things.
do have to cover what's really important.
Okay. So we do have a stand-up corner from yesterday. Remember, stand-up corner is where the devs say, hey, I worked on this yesterday, and I'm working on this today. Something random gets
Do-year
written down,
plan.
eventually gets posted to the forums, and then we get to interpret it, generally the day before. So this is the stand-up corner from Hump Day, Wednesday. Don't forget, today is Thirsty Thursday. And over in the art department, Bob the Builder.
Cult of Bob.
Still working on the Obsidian Village Inn. Damon.
Damon Walter.
Working on those dazzling rays. And
Dazzling rays.
and he got to the privilege of attending the weekly character art visual effects meeting. Yay. And then after that, he's also working on Chaos Bolt.
Chaos Bolt.
Yay. Then Fletcher.
Fletch lives.
He was working on Norgard NPCs, hanging out in that meeting, and having a good time. I think he brought the beverages. Then Kevin,
Kevin Wells.
working on the Tree Creature,
Tree Creature.
trying to make sure that Weddings and More by Laz has a brand new tuxedo.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, and the weekly character art and visual effects meeting. Whereas the almighty Gix Vargach,
Kicks. Otherwise known as
Matt. He's trying to figure out, how do you pull a bird out of a hat?
Isn't it supposed to be a rabbit out of a hat?
You know what? Birds and rabbits both work. Both work.
I got a bird for him.
I got a bird for you. It's like, I can do all kinds of tricks. Look.
Flip the
magic.
bird. Flip the bird. Need to flip the bird emote.
Then we can do the...
That's the drawbridge, huh?
Yeah, no, that was the fishing.
Oh, the crane. Oh, the fish.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of bird tricks. Then,
Let's see how many different variants we can come up with.
yeah, and a few. And then after that, he's also attending that meeting. Whereas Reed,
Reed Rollo.
working on bugs
Bug.
and the Shogun Crafting Pavilion home. Over in design, Dan the Man.
Dan the Man Brennan, huh?
Yeah, I'm skipping right into the middle. Working on
I
POTs
see that.
and the map kickoff meeting for the Crags, Crooked Shank, North Shattered Heels,
Correct.
and the Battle Royale bug fixes.
Bug.
Whereas Beezus,
The bees.
working on tooltip improvements to show weapon type, aka short sword, long sword, bastard sword, bastard,
You bastards.
rapier, falchion, flamberge, etc.
Lambers.
Yeah, Seawolf,
Seawolf.
still working on the Longfall Woods and hanging out in a meeting. Whereas Damien, he's working on Highvale Outskirts conversations and quests and the map kickoff meeting. Then Sanio, working on some truthiness and some side quests.
Truthiness.
I don't know, truthiness
We
side
need
quests.
some more truthiness.
We absolutely need more truthiness. And then also hanging out in a meeting. Whereas Lum the Mad,
Lum Lamad.
He decided to make things a little bit more complicated by switching the exits and artifice to use the new two-way teleporter script.
Ha ha.
Yeah. And hanging out at the map kickoff meeting. And then Sorcerer Steve, he's still playing around in Middle Downs and the map kickoff meeting. Whereas the Energy Vortex himself, List Rostov, was polishing.
Yes.
Yeah, he was polishing Blood Bay.
He's got that polish out.
Yeah.
So you need nut butter? We got plenty.
Yep. And the map kickoff meeting and playing around in the Crooked Shank. Then over in tech, Bobby.
Little Bobby Thompson.
He was working on Whisper Autocomplete.
Shh, what? I can't hear you.
I don't know what you're talking about. What are
Whisper.
Shh, you're way too loud. Shh, I think everybody can hear you. Why are you whisper yelling? Don't know what you're talking about. And designer support. Whereas Eric, he's trying to work on flea behavior improvements.
Flee. Run away.
And
Run away.
some dragon AI bugs.
Bug.
Wizard
You're gonna
smoke.
say some dragon ass bugs, huh?
Yeah, dragon ass. It's like Laz getting out of bed before noon. Dragon ass.
Yeah, I tell you.
Then, Eric, flea behavior, dragon AI bug,
Bug.
wizard smoke. Still trying to figure out how to do multiple chat windows. The Deathbringer, one and only, working on some bugs.
Bug.
Burning Toad,
The burn.
working on some tenant items. ID for owners. And installers for localization.
Hey, does that belong to you?
No, it doesn't. Nope.
Mine.
Wrong
all
installer.
mine.
Wrong installer. Yeah. Although everything on the lot is mine, especially the rare items. Then
all the rare items are mine.
all the rare
Everything
items
else
are
is
mine.
yours.
Everything, all the crap is yours. Are over in useless overhead. Andrea working on localization and forums, and Travium customer service kickoff meeting.
Woohoo.
Ooh, the Dippy Bird.
The bird.
Working on server maintenance and leads meeting and pugilism skill. Oh. Working on the skill level and skill cap for scenes that ignores skills and levels past a certain level in the scene, which still has both Laz and myself shaking our heads. And
Sarah and Andar jumped in on it last night as well.
Did they also disagree with that one?
Yeah, well, I didn't stay up for the whole show, but they seem to be scratching their heads just a little bit as well.
Okay, good.
You got to understand, these are two guys who kick ass, take
PvP, yeah.
and go, hey, at the end of our show, we
Come
say,
kill us.
come on down and try and kill us. No,
Yeah.
not come kill us. Come
try.
and
Come
kill us.
try, and if you succeed, there are prizes.
That's right. And don't forget to tune into the Sarah and Andar show every late night Wednesday, early Thursday mornings right here on WRFB Radio Free Britannia. You can check them out at the snrshow.com.
Yes, and don't forget Radio Free Britannia. You can always access that by going to radiofreebritannia.com or wrfb.rocks.
WRFB.rocks.
And then Gorn, he was working on general business. Barrick was
He hanging out in that Speedo.
Yes, he is. Always. He loves the Speedo. Barrick was working on community loading screen tips because we need more. And
Loading
then
screen tips post.
yes, and then Steam screens update because we're finally going to update the graphics. And eventually they'll update the introductory video from 3 years ago in all their promo materials.
Yeah, I still like that video.
Hey, it's a good video. Just needs to be updated. And the weekly community meeting. Serafino's working on customer service.
That wonderful customer service, getting all those telethon rewards out to you folks.
Yes, telethon stuff. Dark Starr. He's working on the weekly update, Travian customer service kickoff meeting, post episode 1 plan.
2-year plan.
Formerly known as the
2-year
plan. Wait, what was that plan called again?
2-year plan.
Okay. The weekly character art meeting, the weekly community meeting, the Kickstarter pledge reward status priority post, map kickoff meeting, and asset review.
He said, that's it.
Yes.
2-year plan.
And then he's already posted today's, and that is because Chaos is on vacation. So don't forget that. And Lord British was in Paris. He's probably traveling around somewhere. So, yeah. Yay.
Yay.
And that's what our
right.
dev said they were working on yesterday. I've got a cat that just says meow.
You have a cat that says what?
Meow. Something like that. Yep.
And begs.
So you ready for we did that yesterday. Yeah. Chris has not updated his blog. So nothing new there.
He has not. Nothing new there. Pugilism, capped NPC, PvP.
Yeah, we read that off yesterday. So
yeah, I know. And again, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that.
The PvP seems a bad idea.
And
it's like work on the existing PvP mechanics. Make there be a good reason for PvP before you design a scene where
let's stop.
Everybody's equal.
Let's get combat fixed.
Yeah,
fleshed out, targeting, all those little bugs. Let's get that really fine-tuned. And then we can think about messing with scenes. I mean, come on.
Hey, I still want collision to be enabled.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work that, I believe we can all agree needs to be done there still.
Oh, yeah.
And, again, I'm not a fan, and until there is such fixes where it makes it feasible to really go out, just not gonna do it. But be prudent.
Yep. And although he did update that yesterday afternoon to include a couple of things that might be relevant.
Just a couple of things that might be relevant.
The working with Undone to help sneak Discord integration into the game and opt-in, register for channels, direct it to chat windows or tabs. Oh yeah, we have chat windows now. You can have more than one. Shh, don't tell Starr.
Shh.
And more infrastructure work, which is his way of saying he was cleaning his desk.
Yes, cleaning up the office.
Yeah, so... Yeah, but...
So when we gonna get that movable health bar?
Hey.
Chat windows came up like a year after that movable health bar.
That is an easy solution. As soon as the dev that's tasked with that comes back from his wedding, he'll be working on that. His honeymoon, yes. And that is exactly what we were told 2 years ago, as far as that goes. So
must be a great honeymoon.
It's an awesome honeymoon, and that dev is still working there. So
I know that.
You talk about some awesome perks.
Yeah, that's why it's always a good giggle around here for us, because just always a good giggle.
Oh yeah,
always a good laugh. And of course, in order to understand some of this stuff, folks, you have to have been hanging around for a while. But
we would never do any sort of in-jokes that require someone to have been here for 3 years.
Never.
Yeah.
So now, Shroud math. Been a couple of questions on that as of late.
What Shroud math? I mean, we want to talk about random number generators and how to piss off Chris.
Well, that would be one.
Yes.
Of course, another factor in question was what exactly death and decay, what factors exactly, and how do those numbers work? Two other hot topics I've been following out there. But
Shroud
the random number generator, RNG, for most people who don't understand what the abbreviation is out there.
Yes.
You may have seen several topics about an RNG, and you might have been scratching your head as to what everybody was talking about with this thing. And, some people, still on the burn of, the random number generator for skills and for crafting and for success of this absolutely bites.
Oh, yeah.
At least in their opinion. And we've all had it happen. We've all been trying to do something, and I mean, even something that Jack and I do thousands of times a day and a week is make teleport and recall scrolls.
And I can state with authority that even
I fail at least once every 20 tries.
Yes, even with a 98% chance. It's like
even with 101 alchemy, I fail once out of every 20. So, and you're at 98, and you fail once out of every 20.
It's 98%. Let's see what my actual alchemy is. Also at 101 alchemy, which
let's see. Yeah, let's pull that up.
Yeah. So if we both have 101 alchemy, it's like which only gives us a 71.1
proficiency.
Yeah, alchemy proficiency. Yes. This is where proficiency and skill level that needs to change, and that needs to be addressed because that
misconception. A lot of people will go, and let's get over to that. Let's say I want to say smelting is one of the hot ones, and the other one would be carpentry. Let me go to carpentry real quick.
Yeah.
Masterworking.
What's that?
Masterworking.
It
gets to the point where I just have to walk away and leave it for a while to let the masterworking gods work out their anger.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But a lot of people will go get recipes for stuff in carpentry, and I'm going to just say, I'm going to use the piano as an example, and I don't know exactly what that number is, but it'll say you need level 70, and people will go, well, I've got 70, in carpentry.
I've got 70 skill, but it's not the same as the actual proficiency. The really
I'm just
crappy
showing on
thing,
screen that I've got 92 in carpentry, but my proficiency is still less than 70.
Yes.
So yes, two major differences.
In order to actually achieve 70 proficiency, that's equivalent to 98 skill. So level 98 is 70 proficiency. And that,
so for those of you folks trying to figure out why that your recipe says you need to have 70 proficiency, that is different from your level, which is one of them Shroud math things that some people just don't get.
Yes.
So on to your point.
So it's what Musaka does is he actually creates a little application. It's a short 20-second or 28-second video where he actually demonstrates 3 different random number generator packages. One using Visual Basic Math.round, then System.random, and System.cryptography. Those 3 different methods to create random numbers. And so you can actually watch the video that he's got, and if it's truly random, everything should be relatively equal as far as the bars, as far as the percentage. And if you actually look at the first test with the VB round, you actually see that 0, which is the first number, is significantly less than all of the other numbers in the VB math.round. Whereas the system.random starts off a lot more equal, but there are all kinds of numbers that are exponentially higher, whereas cryptography ends up being much more random and equal.
Anyway,
So-
he's just saying that there needs to be something looked at,
Yes.
basically.
And the random number generator needs to be either updated or replaced with a system that is more efficient and more random.
More player friendly, and
well-
more accurate, as it may be.
Well, I mean,
I
that
really don't.
that really leads into the problem of Shroud math in general. And what is Shroud math?
Square roots and multiples of tens,
Yes.
metrics versus imperials.
Yeah. So Shroud math is a running joke with Laz and myself because it becomes way too complicated and we can't figure out what the hell is going on.
Yeah. I was one of those guys, and I tell this story. When I was in high school, I sat in algebra class, and they failed me 9 semesters in a row because the teacher thought I was cheating. I would not prove my work. I'd look at the equation and I'd go 3. So I'd write 3 as my answer, and I'd do the test, and I'd get the hell out of there. I didn't need to be sitting there all day scribbling notes as to how I got to the answer. The answer is 3. And I mean, I was scoring phenomenally on the test, but he wasn't crediting me for it because I wouldn't show my work. And it's one of those uncanny things that parents went and got me a tutor, and I did the same thing with the tutor. She was cute too. She would come down and she'd give me a whole bunch of work, and I'd go, okay, 7, 4, 2, X is, whatever, and I'd be done with it. And she'd be like, well, how did you get that? And I said, I don't know. I looked at it and I went, boom. But, tell me, I says, there is no telling you. It just makes sense. I look at it and it goes, I can find what X is. I understand the concept of the math. Don't ask me to prove the work. I can just look at it and say, okay, I know. But anyway, long story short, they actually had to set me up in a room with the teacher, with nobody else, and finally take a test with the teacher, literally, desk to desk, to make sure I had no cheating aids. And I knocked out the test. I aced it. I walked away, and I finally passed that year. But I understand math, but this math gets a little too crazy for me, is all I got to say.
It's overly complicated. Let's put it that way. And it's not something, and it has led to weird systems.
Now, of course, you want to really talk about some math, we could ask Umari to come up on one of the shows and talk about some Shroud math. I'm sure he'd love to delve into some of that stuff, but we're going to be running a little short on time, and I think we may have something else we just might want to talk about.
What, death and decay? Trying to figure out what it is?
Trying to figure out what death and decay is. Yes, death and decay is definitely a hot topic, but
and
also
Scroda is typing out that whenever he actually pays attention to the failure rate for sheet music, it's closer to 10%, not 5%, when it should be significantly lower. So that should be failing 1 out of 20, but instead he's failing twice out of 20.
Now that's actually just making the paper for the sheet music, is what you're saying, Scroda?
Yeah.
Now, of course, the other one was death and decay, but
yes, and this leads into part of the Shroud math, because he's trying to figure out, or Frost 2 is trying to figure out what all is used to calculate death and decay for any given avatar, and so how is it calculated, and what all is actually associated with it.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and so he's looking for Chris to actually answer that.
Absolutely.
And I mean, Stundorn does say that, as far as he knows, it's a percentage off all associated XP to skills, and pooled XP is not considered.
Is not?
Yeah, that's what he said, Stundorn. But this is not an answer from Chris, and until Chris actually comes out and says what's really considered in Death and Decay, whether or not it's just Adventurer XP, or is it also going to deal with your crafting XP and how that's going to work? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Need details. Because I would really hate to lose my 101 milling on my guy with 140 hit points.
I bet.
101 milling.
Two-year plan. Two-year plan.
2-year plan. 2-year plan.
2-year plan. You know, there's been a lot of talk about the 2-year plan, you know.
I don't know
And
what is.
lot of people are wondering what it is these guys got coming down the pipe, and I don't know.
Well, I'm kind of curious as to what they really plan on implementing in episode 1 versus episodes 2 through 5. And I think that would have been nice had they included that within the notes about episode 1.
Didn't they just post that yesterday?
What, the post episode 1 2-year plan?
That's the 2-year plan.
Yes, but they don't.
The other one was. Hang on, I'll get it for you.
Quarter 4 notes?
Did he do quarter 4 notes today too?
No, he shouldn't have done quarter. He shouldn't have done quarter 4 notes yet. Hold on, I've got to go look at the announcements.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Let me just pull up Starr's. He made the post yesterday.
I mean, that was the post episode 1 content plans, which was
Status,
today.
priority of pledge reward, stretch.
Oh, wait, we could talk about that. Yeah.
Well, that was we did talk about that yesterday.
No, we didn't. We didn't really go into detail about that.
Well, we didn't go into detail, but
this is their priority for Kickstarter and pledge rewards. But this is their priority for Kickstarter and pledge rewards. It's not the Kickstarter for what's listed in the 2-year plan. Because some of that stuff that's listed in the 2-year plan, Chris is working on right now.
Woohoo!
So, do you want to look at the status and priority of pledge rewards as far as the priority 1 stuff?
Well, I've got that up on screen. We can look at that. We're probably going to need to.
Or are we just going to cover this tomorrow?
Table both of these for tomorrow, but we can give everybody a little heads up of what we're covering because they covered this on Monday. What the status and priority of the pledge rewards were, Kickstarter stretch goals, and other items for episode 1. And we mentioned this on Tuesday because they retired the 2 items, which was the 2 weeks head start and the pick last names early.
Yes.
Which some people are up in arms about again, because of how last names were supposed to work. And I want to jump on that topic real quick. Thank you for the follow out there. Who was that?
Hector. Or Brogina.
Noah Hellas boy?
Oh, okay. I don't know.
It was a repeat. Somebody wanted to see some boobies. That's all it was.
They wanted to see the bouncies.
But moving right along, yes. The last name conditions, and actually, if you scroll down, I believe it was Umari. Just so happens that he had a question on this. If I can find him real quick, I guess he's not on that page. And this is blown to 4 pages now, but let me find his post real quick. I know he's here. There's been no page.
So this is what happens when you have no plan for the show every single day.
There is no plan.
We're going to talk about Umari's post, which is maybe on page 3.
Yeah, I forget where he posted it.
Yeah.
I'm looking for him, and I just don't see it. Maybe page 4. I know he had a really good point in here, and I wanted to bring it up. There he is.
That or it was moderated out.
Page 4. Can you clarify this, please? The particular Kickstarter system was a vital part of the justification of the last name, and the requirement that the alternate characters on the account must share the last name.
Yeah.
Right. So now he wants to know if this is all out the door. Am I going to be able to play Lazarus Long and Fiddle Dee and Fiddle Dum with different last names now? Or are we still going to be stuck with the same last name, attributes, and everything? Inquiring minds want to know now that this is being axed, as it may be.
Well, the problem with last names is they're never really unique. I mean, think of all these Smiths and Jones and the Smythes.
Well, that was one of my big concerns.
Yeah.
And again, I don't see how you would say, okay, somebody gets the name Joe Smith and somebody comes along and can't be Jane Smith or Jack Smith or John Smith. I understood that, my other characters would have Long as, Lazarus, Lorelei, Laura Lee, so on and so forth. But, what would stop somebody like Starr Long from having the last name Long? Well, we know he uses Dark Star in the game. But what would stop, say, you from coming in and playing Jack Long? Or,
Well, this is something that actually goes way, way early to right before you started playing the game, where
Absolutely.
I created the character Jack Frost just for the Christmas hat, whereas there was already someone that in the game named Robert Frost.
Correct.
So, and Robert Frost has actually been in the game a lot longer than Jack Frost, as far as an actual player name.
People used to think you guys were the same person,
and never, or they thought I was Jackknife.
Well, they still think that.
Yeah.
There's even people out of the offices who still confuse you too. I don't know how they do that.
No idea.
Yeah.
So
one plays a concertina and one doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, you're both known for carrying around cameras. You're both known for crazy, wild antics around the offices.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there are a lot of similarities.
I do not do anything crazy, and I am not known for any wild antics.
No.
I have never dropped my pants.
How did you win your chaos medal again?
I have never dropped my pants in public. No one took a picture of that.
But yes, post episode 1 content plans are out, aka the 2-year plan. We will be covering that tomorrow.
Yes.
A lot of stuff in there, and of course, this just came out as we were starting the show. We got to peruse it casually before the show, and there's a lot to digest there right now before we go in to critique it on the live show. So, not that stopped us before, but there is a lot of content to intake, as it may be. So let's go ahead and move right along. Let's start closing this thing up for today. Do that thing that we do.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I need that song, That Thing You Do. There we go.
That thing you do where you talk about the NBN app, which is available on all of your electronic devices. That includes anything on the Apple iTunes Store, the Google Play Store, or the Amazon App Store. And don't forget, you can always just search for NBNN, Shroud of the Avatar, or Soda. Any one of them will get you to the NBNN app, which contains all the best links to everything related to Shroud of the Avatar, especially the community calendar.
That's right. The NBNN community calendar can also be found on nbnn.info, where you will find the latest news, the latest updates, the latest videos, the hottest links, YouTube, Discord servers, maps, all sorts of other stuff. The archives, where we have pictures from the events. And, of course, stay tuned for more stuff coming up later on this year. But, of course, the NBNN community calendar,
which is an aggregate of all of the available public calendars that Laz has found out about related to Shroud of the Avatar. And if you have a public calendar and you want it added to the community calendar so that way we can read out your events Monday through Friday, just email news@nbnn.info and that guy will eventually do something for you.
this guy.
All times on the community calendar, Central Standard Time in the real world, but we prefer to refer to it as Nude Britannia Time.
Nude Britannia time.
Yes, if you tune in your E3 amplifiers at 12s and 6s around the clock, you can listen to two idiots interpret the news. So you don't have to. On a little show
You
called
guys.
Lunch. That's right. At 7 o'clock, you can always join Kaz and Phoenix Fire and Mal Hari for the Phoenix Republic PvE nights where they go exploring a bunch of zones. And while doing that, you can always tune in your E3 amplifiers to WRFB.
WRFB.
For the 70s at 7. And following that, your ear holes are going to be massaged by none other than...
Gently massaged.
Oh, yeah. By none other than DJ Nurse Justin for Unmedicated Schizophrenia Part 2.
Nurse. Do.
Yes. Final event of the evening is also on WRFB, and that's the record room.
WRFB.
And that's our community calendar for this Thursday in Shroud of the Avatar.
Shroud of the Avatar.
Yes.
That's right. And don't be avatared, folks. Of course, obey the main rule of the road here in Shroud of the Avatar. D-bed, don't be a dick. Yeah, you may think it's funny. A lot of other people may not. So be nice to your neighbors. Don't be doing stupid stuff out there. And just be mindful that every action you have in this game has consequences. So, especially if you want to pick on somebody, you know, they may have a big, large friend, guild as a friend who may come back and make you regret some of those actions. But
Don't know what you're
I
talking
wouldn't know
about.
anything about that. That's right. But of course, moving right along, gotta say thank you to our sponsors out there, the good folks who keep us going. Don't forget, SodaCon Austin ticket sales are over. If you missed out, you're gonna have to wait till next year, folks. That's all I can tell you. Of course, we will be bringing you updates and all that good stuff live from Austin in October. So we'll be bringing you all that then when it happens. And moving on to our sponsors. Of course, I know they're not up there, but I got to give a shout out to the Astoria Lumber Company. Is Astoria Lumber looking for miners to work at the lumber company? Of course, if you want a free room and you want to do a little lumberjacking, all it costs is 100 trees a week to rent out or get a room in the inn at the Astoria Lumber Company. I put that on screen real quick. And of course, if you're interested in that, you can get in touch with Dieter Von Parker, and he'll go ahead and give you more details as to what you need to do with that. Of course, Arius Coilmore and Coilmore Wands, you should probably talk to Dieter about your wood supply, so that you can have plenty of wood so that you can make that magic happen. Coilmore Wands, putting the magic in your hands. Custom-made wands by Arius Coilmore. The Britannian Mining Company, our home guild, wants you to come on down the Market Road in Black Rock Cove, located in the Quell region next to the Exeter Mines. The Market Road has loads and loads of vendors with all your crafting resources, all at reasonable rates. Actually, it's all at the same rate. If you see silver at 60 gold on one vendor, you're going to see the same price on all the vendors, keeping it steady so you don't have to figure out how much you got to spend for your crafting. Of course, relicsbyreal.com for all your licensed Shroud of the Avatar swag, everything from t-shirts to hats to bumper stickers, glassware, coffee mugs, hoodies, and much, much more. Of course, new comic book just hitting the stands. That should be available shortly at relicsbyrill.com. And of course, if you want to save a little money on that swag, use the promo code NBNM when you check out at relicsbyrill.com. You'll save 10% on your purchase. Of course, the Airy Fund, gamers helping gamers. Don't forget that you can donate to the Airy Fund year-round. They're always out there available to help for any causes out there. If you've got a medical emergency, some life-changing, there's all sorts of things the Airy Fund does out there for the gamers in different communities. And of course, all you got to do is reach out and go to the airyfund.org to find out more information. Of course, the Airy Fund is a 501(c) non-for-profit organization. All your donations are tax deductible. And of course, all those donations go towards helping your fellow gamers. So don't forget the Airy Fund out there. And you'll see the latest community cause happening here shortly. We'll have the latest information on that soon. WRFB Radio Free Britannia. Catch us and the rest of the crew throughout the week. Everybody from the Sarah and Andar show to the Deco Divas, Arius Coilmore, ourselves, Laz and Jack, Omen Crow, and of course all sorts of other great programming out there. The Record Room, 70s at 7. You name it, we got all sorts of stuff, different flavors out there for you. And last but not least, of course, no show would be complete without talking a little bit about the Shroud Marketplace.
You mean that place where anybody is welcome to register as a vendor and start selling their wares, and that's anything and everything game related? That website?
That would be the site,
oh,
Jack.
Sweet. That includes like shroudmarketplace.com, where anybody can register an account. You just have to click on the register button, and if you want to start listing your items, you just click on vendor registration on the left hand side, and then you can start creating new products and adding your stuff.
I want to point something out, because one of the first items I see up on the marketplace is some boats for sale. All I'm going to say right now is buy boats.
Two-year plan?
Huh?
2-year plan.
What? I don't know
boats
about.
might be mentioned in 2-year plan. Don't forget also the expired Village Pavilion, which is one of the first houses expired. It's also up there. Or if you're looking for the Kabbalist Indigno hood, which you know what? I know one was actually sold earlier this morning, and that made me sad because I thought it was gone, but there's
Sir
more than
Lang says, buy your gold ingots at Shroud Marketplace.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Don't forget, crafting items. If you look at those materials, you can actually see gold ingots are in there. You've got gold ore. You've got all kinds of stuff. Anything and everything can be bought or sold on Shroud Marketplace. So, you know what? Go visit Cynic's Legio Gaming. Yes.
Boats, gold, services, you name it.
Avalonian Creations.
Legal, we're selling it on Shroud Marketplace.
Anybody and everybody can register to sell it. And that includes Avalonian Creations selling Nightshade and Mandrake. You know what? You gotta love that, and that's Mom's shop.
Gotta love it. Mom. That's right.
Mom, you sold anything yet?
Yeah, actually, stuff came through last night. It was a great thing to wake up to this morning.
Sweet. You gotta love waking up in the morning. It's like,
gotta ask.
Sold 1,000 Mandrake and 1,000 Nightshade.
Like, sweet. Yeah.
And of course, you hear that stuff right here live, folks. Yeah. People making sales, selling in-game resources. It's a real thing. We're not joking.
Yeah. I sell teleports and recall scrolls. And
I know. He makes me laugh. You know?
Oh, yeah. Because I message him every single time.
I shouldn't talk because I just take the gold that I make and I sell the gold in my shop when I accumulate it for cash. And instead of selling the recalls and telescops, I sell them in game, convert it to gold, and use the gold and sell the gold. So, absolutely, great place to get rid of your swag.
And don't forget, if you're looking for some leveling help, you can always contact Armelian Versaz. Although I butchered his name,
Vermilion.
Vesaz, Vesaz. In game or in Discord, it's also on here. 500k adventuring XP. He'll work with you. It's great service. People are already buying it, which is awesome. But
that's right.
Anything and everything Shroud of the Avatar related can be bought or sold.
Discounted rates for all the promo work we do on that. I have to ask about that.
You know what? It all depends on what you're actually trying to do. But if we look at the time, it's actually that time where we have to thank the most important people around here, and that's you guys.
That's you guys.
Thank you for watching out on Twitch, YouTube, or listening on WRFB.
WRFB Radio Free Britannia.
We couldn't do the show without you guys, and we do it for you.
That's right. We love you all, and of course, some of you we love more than others.
Oh, absolutely.
You know who you are.
Especially those that cheer on my channel.
Of course, we got to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow with the weekend roundup, and of course, the latest information for you on what was that thing?
2-year plan.
2-year plan. We'll be telling you all about that tomorrow. But meanwhile, we got to wrap it up and get out of here. We'll be back with more news, sports, entertainment, crazy, wild happening, the latest hijinks and shenanigans, and of course, all that other good stuff right here on NBNN. Till then, I'm Laz.
I'm Jack.
And we are NBNN. Have a great day, everybody, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Everybody have fun. Remember, bye. We'll put on pants eventually. Shoot from the wingstop.